to rely on the data, not on a date. It's very important that people of our community have done a tremendous amount of hard work by staying home for the last 6 weeks today. And there's only one thing we can do to fight this coronavirus, and that is to change our behavior. We know there's no medicine, there's no vaccine yet. Testing is still a major issue, at least in our region of the country, and I think across the country. And so we are watching the data very carefully. We know that this has been devastating for business, but in our country, 67,000 people have died from COVID-19 in the last couple of months. That's more than all of the people who died during the Vietnam War. And so we just have to put this in a bit of perspective here.
Let me ask you really quick.
And we can stay at home just a little while longer.
Yeah, let me ask you about that. Did the governor of your state consult with you before making that decision?
Yes, the governor did consult with us. I speak with him regularly. Missouri is a state that has a couple of large urban areas and then a whole lot of rural area. And we have counties in our state that only have a couple of cases. So it is always a real struggle to balance what's happening in our major cities with what's happening in rural Missouri. And so he did consult with us. We encouraged a little longer stay-at-home order for the state, but the governor is supporting us in our stay-at-home order. The messaging is difficult. The communication to people is difficult when you're not all doing the same thing, but we have been very careful and persistent in the communication that we're doing with our people here in St. Louis. And honestly, a lot of people are not ready to go back out yet. They understand that this is a dangerous situation with a lot of community spread and with a lot of asymptomatic people. And so while there certainly are points of view on either side of this opening issue, most people are a little bit trepidatious in terms of going back out.
Let me ask you, just from your vantage point and seeing this divide play out up close, do you think there is, has there been some exposure to who actually gets to make the decisions about whether or not cities or states should be shut down? Who do you think ultimately has that power, and should that be refined once we come out of this pandemic so that it doesn't have to be a statewide order, it could be city by city, and you're given the power to do so?
Well, it might not surprise you to learn that I think it is a decision that has to be based city by city, county by county, because one size does not fit all. And so while right now we're doing this cooperatively with the state of Missouri and with our governor, I think it is something that we do have to look to in the future to really make sure that it is local officials who are in the best position to make the decisions about these sorts of things in the future.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably going to be one of those lessons learned when we look back on all of this someday. St. Louis Mayor Lyda Krewson, thank you so much for joining us and your time this morning. And breaking news.